All right, 29th of December 2021, Roger here. This is Porsche build number 8, and I've got a confession to make. So I kind of like engineered myself in the corner with these two Michimoto radiators, and I finally kind of abandoned that. I hate to say that, but you know, my dad always says you don't learn stuff unless you hurt yourself in the process or it costs you money. So I'm going to eventually, there's the other Michimoto that was supposed to go on both sides. There's a reason I'm going this route now. I went ahead and from Griffin Radiator Summer Racing got the wider radiator. Again, this right here, radiator and cooler, was supposed to mount on the side here and the other one on the side over here. And yeah, it would have worked, but I don't know if there's been enough air coming in through that little bitty slot I had right here, so I'm going to make myself just a little bit of an air dam by cutting right here and lowering it down right here, basically making myself a mouthpiece right down here so it forces all that air directly in there. And what I didn't like about the Renegade hybrid solution, although it works, is they had those big giant rubber hoses laying underneath here, probably in these little slots right here. Would have worked, but I never liked that, so I got myself these stainless steel tubes. They're hand railing, and I've used them before. And basically, if I look down this tunnel right here, I can look all the way up there because I don't have that shifter knob anymore because I'm going with that conversion. And check this out. These go all the way in the front. And let me get back up here again. And you can see they slide right here. One's way over there in the corner. I've already got all this welded up. I thought this was going to be a pain in the butt to get through here, but it's not. There's the other one. It'll be covered right here. And both of them stick out right here in the front. And so now I just got to go underneath here and do some slight cutting. Right there is where I've got it marked. So I'm going to run my drill right in there and open up those holes. So that's the plan. And then right here I already mounted my rack temporarily, and the hoses will go right through here and then come into this compartment. Again, this right here will be lowered a little bit. So, you know, ballpark is, I re-engineered it because before I paint this thing, and I was actually close to paint on this thing, is I'm gonna not do it right. Let's just do it another way that I think would be better. Plus, I never had a plan to mount my air conditioning condenser. And obviously, once this sits a little bit lower, I'll put my air conditioning condenser here. One fan will run everything. And again, I got a 16-inch spout fan on order. This is a 14 right here, so the other one will be a little bit wider. But anyway, that's the plan. I got this thing completely sanded down now with 400 grit. That took like a solid day. All the little corners, got everything really, really smooth. And then it just bothered me. So here's where we're at right now. I'm gonna redo the cooling on this thing and then weld these two holes shut right here, which is probably the crappiest part of that redesign, is that I cut a perfectly smooth side right here. The pluses of that is I retained that nice little cool look on the side of the car. You know, shit happens, but it is what it is. Take care, bye-bye. This is the bottom end. Stick some gloves on here. And I'm gonna try to use, I guess you call it a keyhole saw in metal. And my old Harbor Freight Bauer thing's pretty good. So low speed. So there's one, and just for shits and giggles, I'll go ahead and put my finger in here. Yeah, there's the other one right there. So, advantage of doing this is you got a nice neat little round hole in here now. cool. Get the old gook out of there. And one of the coolest things, I saw a guy on YouTube using these, and he said like the best tool he's ever had. So I'm gonna wear my safety glasses here again and just basically run this line across the bottom right here. And then same thing across the top. I'm running into a weld right here. So that's cool. So what you got here is a super clean little hole. If I can get one of these things pushed through here, I'm probably going to have to dimple that up just a little bit, but now you can see my pipes sticking on the other end right there. And hold on just a second. That was actually easier than I thought it was going to be, and my pipes are right here now. Let me grab this one. Oh yeah. And then this one. Perfect. So I'll go down the bottom and show you where they came through. Oh yeah, that's perfect. So now I'm on the bottom edge, that's good. I'm gonna just slice a little bit out the top, and you can see my other pipe sticking through here. From here to about right here, I'll put little dimples on the corner of it and put a TIG weld around it, and they'll go right up in here, up between this rack right here, or this mount cross member, and the actual rack and pinion, and they'll go right in here, and I'll come out the other side. So, hell, you know, if I knew it was that easy, I probably wouldn't have done video number 4 or 5 where I was all proud cutting a damn hole in the side here. So once I get this knocked out, and I know that's gonna work, I'll come here and I'll close this hole up right here. Yeah, shit, extra work. I hate doing extra work, or work that was perfect and I gotta redo it. And then, see this piece of metal I picked up at the local Home Depot, which is Bauhaus over here? The holes I sliced in here where the fans were gonna go, I'm gonna put a nice little air cooling grate up in here, so that'll actually look pretty cool. You know, again, I have to use my North Carolina terminology. Shit happens, but I've got a plan now on how to make it the way I'd like it. And again, these pipes will just push on through, and I'll put an elbow TIG weld right here, one right there, and no, the harmonic balancer is nowhere even close to this for the Ellis motor that sits right up in here. Drill is getting a workout today, baby. Thing's getting hot too. All right, so I'll do the same thing on this side over here, and then cut a nice line. That'll be my exhaust out of there. Man, that took a lot. All right, so here we go. I've got this thing butt welded up in here. You can tell right there. Those little tabs, I'm kind of concealing those holes right there at the same time. And let me see how this actually turns out here. This is undoing what I did about 6 months ago, and I think it was video number 4. So the nice thing about this is I can actually hold it up in here, make sure it's completely flush and it's not going to be binding someplace, and it's not. So right here, I'm going to start my first one. Yeah, I'm closing my eyes. And right there. And here, it's got to push out a little bit on this top piece right here to make it flush. Ooh, that got hot, even through the glove. I don't know if that's going to do a lot, but I just got to go really slowly around here. So that is in there, baby butt smooth. I got a nice transition across there. Now obviously there's going to be a swipe of Bondo. Here will be like not even a millimeter, not even a 1/16 of an inch, because it's fairly smooth here. I'll grind these welds down here. Back here it doesn't actually matter. Matter of fact, I want a little bit of peaks and valleys in here for this. Looks like about 1/8 of an inch of Bondo where it's coming off of this lip right here. So success. Take care. Bye-bye. So I'm done right now, and this is my line right here. You can see it. Pretty decent, if I might say so myself. I'm gonna get some light back here. And so this is the front edge right here. This has to be pretty well smooth and completely flush, simply because there's not a whole lot of Bondo right there, or probably that's just a filler for the primer. Now on this side, I can be a little bit deeper, and I'm not gonna take all of those welds off of there with the grinder, because that's gonna give my Bondo something to cling onto. And so I'm just gonna leave that right there. Now let me show you a little trick right here with this light. You obviously want to get everything welded up exactly smooth without any pinholes, because pinholes means water comes in from the back. Now, for example, I'm holding the light behind it right here, and see right there where I got the Sharpie mark? You can see a little bitty 1/2 millimeter hole right there. Here are two that I'm holding the light directly behind it. I just plug welded them up, and they're smooth. And then I knocked this one out over here. So for example, the light is right here. Push it in behind here, and I can go down this entire strip right down here with the light behind it, back and forth, different angles, no light coming through. So that's completely sealed up on this side right here. It's gonna grind it a little bit, clean it up, and like I said, this will be smooth. I got one pinhole right here, and then I got a whole bunch down here, because if you notice, this is my screw up. I actually welded below the actual damn line right here. So go ahead, full disclosure here. See that line, that nice neat line? I just gotta go through that again and weld actually on top of there. I just messed it up a little bit, but pretty successful. This is smooth, got no warping in it. A little high spot right here, but I'll take that down, and that's about it. So this is the end of the unscrew it and closing up the side vents. So we're at the end of the video right now. I just wanted to show you this real quick. Here's how I edit all my YouTube videos. It's just Windows Movie Maker. It's pretty simple. The nice thing about this, you can add things like right here in this segment at whatever point in time that is, 14 or 12 minutes. I wrote that little comment, add 45 minutes right here. You can bring your cursor right over here and just click right here, and then if you hit the play button, you can see that it actually blends into the bottom of the screen, and literally it's pretty intuitive. You can figure it out, like right here where I wrote 45 minutes later. If you come back out, you'll see the entire video with your slide bar here, and you go all the way to the top, and here's where I got my introduction. It's not, you know, the fancy dancy tools that most people use, or a lot of people, YouTubers, use, but this works for me because it's fairly simple. The nice thing about this is when you come here, you can actually save it for YouTube, for email, and this one particular one saves it for YouTube, and it puts it at the right format and also the right size, basically. We don't have the fastest internet here in Runneberg, Germany. We're working on that, but it is what it is. So real quick, I'm going to run down here. I'm going to add this video to the back of this one, but I'm going to run downstairs here and show you what I consider the luxury that I have. I'm not bragging here, but I can literally walk down to my basement from the living room upstairs, and I've got my shop right here. I haven't cut the stove on this morning, the heat. Let me go ahead and hit this one door right here. That one right there, and I'll show you what happened overnight here. But just real quick on this side, you know, people put that little haze of flat black on there. I put a whole cover on here. And then when you sand this thing down, these are these panels that I just showed you. They're super smooth. There's no transition here whatsoever. But what it does tell you, you see that little bitty dark line right there? If you run your finger across it, and that's how I usually find my little indentions, there's a little bit of indention. So right here, little swipe of Bondo. There's nothing wrong with using Bondo as long as you're not caking the crap on there. And then while I'm over here, no, I'm not addicted to Amazon.de, but this is some Summit Racing stuff. Here's that Griffin radio I told you about earlier in the video. And here's what it looks like. Now, this is a fan leftover when I did the order for the condenser, which is laying over there. And here's the configuration, what's going to look like. Today or sometime this weekend, it's Saturday morning. I think we got about the 9th of January, 22. I'm going to cut this out right here. And then this right here will drop down about an inch. And then my cover will go right up here, and then it'll exhaust out the back and maybe a couple of holes here. So that's it. And here's what I wanted to show you here. It's actually not that cold. We're getting ready to go grab the grandkids and go sledding. And there's what it looks like here in Germany. So a little coat of snow. And then, yeah, we have a mobile sauna for about a week here. And it's actually a pretty cool item. So take care. Bye-bye. And